Thanks very much for joining us. I suppose first things first, county semi-final. You must be really looking forward to the weekend.
We are indeed. We are indeed. It's been 2018 since we were last in semi-final. The lads, there's some of the squad will be still there. Remember from 2018, it's new to some other players. So the whole squad really looking forward to it.
And of course, it's been quite some run. If we speak about the power of momentum in sport, and I suppose and the advantages that can give you. Probably no bigger example than your side through the championship. Had the difficult, I suppose, the fixture calendar didn't go your way for the first couple of games, 2 defeats, but then since then you've just come on some run, and everyone speaks about that night out in Duggan Park for the 12-point advantage, and then since then you've powered on. But it must be such a buzz in the camp at the moment.
It was, I suppose, after the first two games, we had Mount Bellew in the first match. Worthy opponents. It was a 2-score game. With their worthy champions, last year's champions, they're back in the semi-final again. So that shows the caliber of the team. Then we came up against Salthill. They had a lot of lads back from county, and probably we had only the week to recover. So we started off then with 2 losses. So in fairness to the team, they knuckled down. We took one game at a time. We got it. We knew we needed to get a win under our belt against James's. Did that. Then on to the next round against Carrow. Another win was needed. And as you said, that great night in Duggan Park where the drama unfolded.
Oh, stop. I was lucky enough to be in there that night as well. But I don't think I've ever seen a team start with such intent. Because it was always coming into your head, what way will you approach it? Do you try and go steady Eddie and tip them along, or do you go all out? But you could see, like, I remember the first couple of the first 7 minutes or something like that was phenomenal. I think Frankie scored a score after 40 seconds or something like that. That set the tone, but you pushed up on every kick out as well. It was a phenomenal piece of attacking football.
We always knew that performance was in the lads, and they knew going into the game, look, they had to come with that performance, or else it was going to be a long winter. And in fairness to them, stood up to the challenge. They came and performance was needed, and they were out of the blocks like nothing had seen. And we knew that performance was in them, but it was the first half of football was a phenomenal display by them. And I think more will be needed of that on Sunday again.
Absolutely. And then, of course, you had the late drama, the clutch moment with James knocking over that long range free at the death. Like, I don't think the Hollywood.
For the neutral, it was a great game. For the supporters, it added to the drama, like the nerves he showed to put that over. And I think for me, it felt like an eternity. He was standing over it with his 2 steps and just coolly breezed it over the bar.
And I suppose if you speak about the highs of that moment, not brought down to earth, but it was a different type of victory against Michaels in the quarterfinal. Then I suppose that's where you had to show a different side of the spectrum in terms of, I suppose, grind out and character, and on a dirty wet day in a Pearse Stadium.
Yeah, look, it is always going to be a tricky day, weather conditions. Michael's topped their group, so there were formidable opponents. We knew it was going to have to be a very workmanlike man display. And when you come to this stage of the championship, there's going to be only a couple of games, which all the quarterfinals showed. There was only a point between them. They're going to be tight, nervy, and it's about holding your nerve and your discipline and seeing them out and putting in a good work rate performance.
And I suppose, something similar required now for Sunday. Obviously, you've had this, I suppose, not weird scenario, but you see it so many times in sport where teams play each other for the second time. There can be a bit of a flip. Salthill got the advantage in the group phase, but I'm sure you'd have learned a lot from that game as well.
We would. As I said, we went into that Salthill game probably after playing Mount Bellew, and after a tough game against Mount Bellew. And we knew, like, Salthill deserved winners on the day, but everything about the group is getting out of the group. And probably it's a different scenario when you go into a semi-final. There's a different approach. The lads know what they'll have to do if they want to be still around next week. And yeah, well, it's often playing it's the same team twice. It turns out to be different outcomes, different performances. Both teams will have learned from each other.
And I suppose you are blessed in as well that you do have absolutely gold dust firepower inside then as well. That goal against Michaels was, I think German started off originally with a good ball into Frankie, but I just love that pass from Frankie back to Damien and Comert. There is firepower up top as well, and you are blessed to have some absolute sharpshooters on your side.
Yeah, look, Damien and Frankie get a lot of the plaudits, and I know both of them be first to acknowledge the what their success is built on the work of the rest of the players and the squad team. And Damien and Frankie would be the very first to acknowledge, look, without that work rate beyond, and of course the scorers always get the accolades and they will always get the glory from it. But they know that the work, there's no point having that firepower if your other outfield players don't match up to it, the task in hand. So they need to perform on the day, or there's no point having that firepower.
What an occasion, though. County semi-final in a Pearse Stadium. We'll hope the weather will be on its best behaviour for us. It wasn't the greatest for the start of your quarter-final there. You got the raw end of the deal on that. But, you look at the line, the two clubs going up against there's two big names of Galway football. And then, like yourself on the line, John O'Mahony on the other side, the calibre of players up and down. And even the sidelines, they're glitz with sparkling of talent as well. It's just going to be some occasion.
Yeah, you're really looking forward to it. I know the Annaghdown people love their football. There's a great football and tradition, the club. And I know they'll come in and their numbers in to support. It'll add to the atmosphere. Yeah, but there's even a buzz. Every camp has a buzz about it. Going into semi-final, there's a buzz. It's easier to go training, even though the weather might be thunder and lightning and rain. But, when you're the county semi-final to look forward to, it makes it a lot easier to go training. You don't mind getting that soaking out in the training in the cold. Everybody's really looking forward to it. It's what you want at the beginning of the year when you start out training in February. That is your goal, is to be there when the business end of the season. So thankfully we're there and all looking forward to it.
And the very best looks on Sunday, Damien. It's in the business end. It's about to get very tasty.
It is. Look at the four excellent teams left in it. So I tell you, everybody's really looking forward to it. Everybody I know in the camp really is probably hoping to Sunday. I said there's lads that's doing very little at work this week thinking about it. A lot of distractions, including myself. But we are looking forward. It's a great occasion, Pearse Stadium, county ground, and as you say, everybody there ready for a great game, hopefully.
John O'Mahony, you've played in and taken part and steered the line on some big games over the course of your fantastic career, but another big one coming again on Sunday.
Yes, we're at the business end of the championship, and it's nice to be there. We're in the last four, but we've a tough assignment coming up now against Annaghdown for the second time. So, when you get to this stage of championship semi-finals, it's always 50-50. It's a different circumstance than I suppose when we met at the group stages. Weather, pitch different, and I gather that Annaghdown have a number of players coming back from injury as well, whereas we have a few injury doubts heading into the weekend.
I suppose as an overview, when you come back, maybe, and I probably have to rewind to last year, perhaps when you weren't involved, the feeling in the county was that Salthill, didn't get out of the group stage, probably unlucky with a result here and there, but a club that has so much talent, as we've seen this year, but just to kick things into life. And it's been, some of the scoring stats as well have been quite impressive over the course of the game so far.
Yes, I mean, I suppose the context of this is that when I joined Salthill at the beginning of the year, I wanted people, if you like, who had played with the club, who had coached with the club, because there was an awful lot of work done at underage level over the last number of years. There was a number of retirements of some of the veteran players last year, including my two selectors now, Sean Armstrong and Finian Hanley, and then Norman Costello would have done a lot of coaching over the years, and our coach Des Sheeran, has huge experience at training Galway underage teams and so on as well. So that's what I wanted, because this has to be driven from within the club, and I'm kind of trying to put the pieces together. But I must say that there has been a very good reaction, both from the players and everybody involved. So we're delighted to be at this stage, but I suppose the mountain is getting steeper all the time. And this will be looking forward to a real test on Sunday, and we certainly won't be taking anything for granted, but it's very much a 50-50 game as I see it.
I suppose it's the added caveat as you get often the time in group stage championship formats where you have teams coming together. I Think back at the goal we had famously in 2001, playing your side playing Roscommon for the second time. Sometimes that adds another little twist into the chapter, isn't it, where teams evolve and they almost have a bullet in their back when a target on the opposition to get hold of them the second time.
Of course. I mean, look at this thing of people presuming that it's going to be a similar type game. There'll be an awful lot of different dynamics to this game on Sunday. As I said, first of all, we're probably playing this in winter conditions almost, with the weather the way it is at the minute. And you have, the last game was in midsummer, if you like, if I remember well. It was a beautiful evening. So you have a whole lot of different dynamics, and we know that Annaghdown, I mean, they have some super players there, and I gather there's a number, as I said, coming back from injury, and I think Gordon Kieran, who played for Galway a number of years ago, is back in training with them. So this will be a totally different game, and it's there for the taking for the team that fronts up, and we would hope, obviously, that it's Salthill. Now, as I said, we had Rob Finnerty and Michael Culhane had to come off injured with serious enough injuries in the last game. So their input has been restricted in the last couple of weeks. So, but we'll be giving them every opportunity, hopefully, to play. But we're not certain of that as we speak here this morning.
When you looked back to that game over Tuam, it felt like a big statement, the fact that you lost Rob, who had been, one of the talisman and one of your star performers throughout the course of the year. To lose him so early in the game, but to see others step up and take the mantle must be pleasing watching on from the line.
Yes, I mean, that was very pleasing from the point of view of the mental strength of the team, because there'll always be unexpected things that'll happen in games, and it's not so much what happens, but it's how you react to it. And we were delighted that we actually, it was almost as if everybody else said we better shape up here and get our act together. But look, it's not a, Tom Culhane has been doing well on the scoring stakes, but we have a good spread of scorers and work rate. It's a team effort, really, right from number 1 to number 15, and in fact in every game we've used 5 subs. So that's the modern game now, that you leave it all on the pitch and bring in fresh legs towards the end of the game. That's what we've been doing, and that has worked so far. So hopefully that it'll be effective on Sunday. But as I said, Annaghdown have a huge incentive here to put for what they would consider the wrongs right on Sunday next. So we'll have to be very aware of that, and we don't see that we have major advantages in any sense going into this game, but we see we're going into another championship, and like the last day against Tuam, we're now the group stages are different, if you like, than the knockout stages, and you have to be conscious of that as well. You get one chance at it, and you've got to do it, and that's what they'll be looking, Annaghdown will be looking to do, and what we're looking to do. So hopefully it'll make for an exciting and closely well fought game, that we'd be delighted if we could come out on top.
You spoke about the weather, John. We still don't really know what the forecast will be like. It could change in a Pearse Stadium. You often have the swirling wind coming off the sea. It can make games a bit more of a physical, I suppose, slog more sometimes. Almost, you reference winter football as well. But you have looked quite strong right down the spine of the team throughout the course of the year. You'll probably need a lot of that again.
Yes. I mean, look, we'll need all our wits and our physical. Annaghdown are quite a physical team as well. So no better than Damien Comer, who got the crucial goal in the quarter final against St. Michael's. But again, I suppose when we met the last time, Annaghdown had gone under to Mount Bellew Moylach in the first game. So, but they've won all of their games since that, and they're on a winning streak at the minute. So that's, winning is a habit as well. So we're very conscious of that, and not taking anything for granted here. But I have great confidence in our lads, and as I said, on different days, different people have fronted up and done the match winning part of it. So we'll need to be on all guns blazing, if you like, to get over the line. But I'd hope and be confident that if we can leave our performance on the pitch and leave everything on the pitch, we'll be there or thereabouts at the end, and that's all you can expect on any given day. But as you say, the conditions can play a crucial part in this. And Pearse Stadium, over the years, my experience of it is that there's always a win there. But with the weather in the last couple of weeks now, that there has been not just swirling winds and thunderstorms and all the rest of it. So I hope we avoid most of that, but you never know. And we'll look at, I suppose the way to look on this is that if it's that conditions for Salthill, Knocknacarra, it'll be that conditions for Annaghdown as well. So it's the team that copes best with it that will come out on top in the end.
Very good afternoon, and you're welcome to Pearse Stadium here in Galway for the Galway Senior Football Championship semi-finals for 2022. Our opening game was between Annaghdown and Salthill Knocknacarra, with the second game throwing in here at 3:45 between reigning county champions Montpellier and Mike Quillen. But it's all about the opening game here in Pearse Stadium. Salthill Knocknacarra down to our left-hand side. We'll go with their starting 15 here in Pearse Stadium today. In goal, number 1, Rory Lavelle. A full back line of number 2, William Finnerty, 3, Garage Armstrong, and 4, Owen McFadden. The half back line of 5, Cathal Sweeney, 6, Owen Deely, and 7, Daniel O'Flaherty. The midfield partnership is made up of number 8, John Maher, and number 20, Mikey Culhane. The half forward reads number 10, Evan Nolan, 11, Evan Murphy, and number 12, Paddy Kitt. The full forward line of number 13, Sean O'Line, 14, Tom O'Culhane, and wearing number 19 and the captain of the team, Robert Finnerty. So that's the Salthill Knocknacarra starting 15. Management team, of course, made up of John O'Mahony, along with selectors Norman Costello, Finian Hanley, and Sean Armstrong. Jez Sheeran in there as coach as well, and a big backroom team for Salthill Knocknacarra. For Annaghdown, the starting 15 for them in today's county semi-final is in goal. Number 1, James Healy. Number 2, Kieran Potter. 3, Enda Malarkey. 4, Jonathan Craven. 5, Sean Ford. 6, Ryan Ford. And 7, Dara Meehan. At midfield is the partnership of number 8 Owen Curry and number 9 Conor Scully. The half-forward line of number 10 Ian Burke, 11 Jimmer Kilcommons, 12 Dara Hegarty, 13 Conor Maloney, 14 Damien Comer, and number 15 Frankie Burke. The management team of Damien Dow, the selector Michael McNamara, and coach Alan Flynn. So that's the two teams here for the opening semi-final of the Galway Senior Football Championship for 2022. I'm delighted to be joined on co-commentary once again by Barry Cullen. And Barry, I suppose first things are the weather here in Pearse Stadium. We've had a very wet, heavy showers overnight and even earlier this morning here on our way into Pearse Stadium, but thankfully they've drifted away and there's no breeze here either, so it should make for an interesting semi-final.
Yeah, I think as long as the pitch holds up well, and I know I was chatting to a couple of the stewards on the way in that have walked it and said the pitch is in really, really good condition. I think if we don't get any rain, then they will be ideal for what will promise to be two really, really good games. And in the opening game, I was just looking at both management teams, and you see John O'Mahony and the job he has done. Difficult start. Their first 4 league games didn't go according to plan, but they've regrouped, and he's brought a real cohesion to this Salthill team, full of youth, full of pace and no little footballing ability. And then you look down at the Annaghdown management team, and you see Brian Roach, who, you know, former cartoon footballer who was a hugely busy couple of weeks ahead. Of course, he's involved with the Tommy Larkins hurlers as well, and they play next Saturday, so he'll be hoping to have a really, really busy weekend. And of course, Alan Flynn, fresh from winning his senior title in Leitrim with Kiltaggart, so he's going to have a busy time as well, and off to Offaly. So, you know, really busy management teams and really quality management teams.
These two teams, Barry, met in the championship early in the year as well during the summer when temperatures were in the high 20s. Salthill and Knocknacarra had a comfortable win in the end that day, but that really doesn't matter for anything here today now. This is semi-final. This is two teams going head-to-head, trying to get a coveted place in the county final.
Yeah, from once the draws were made, you could see the strength in that group, or the difficulty that was going to be in that group when you had, you know, Montpellier, Moylach, Salthill and Annaghdown. And interesting to see 3 teams from that group now in the county semi-final. I don't think that game will count for an awful lot. Annaghdown have regrouped to a certain extent. We had said all along that they were the unlucky team in the championship and that they drew, I think it was Montpellier Moylach in their first game and Salthill in their second game. So 2 of the really strong teams in the county, 1 and 2, but they were grouped really well. Managed to make their way out of the group. A really good win in the quarter-final in a tight game against St. Michael's, where, you know, maybe the quality wasn't as high as we saw in some of the other quarter-finals, but they'll have taken great confidence from that, and they're a club with huge tradition, you know, huge pride, and they'll see themselves coming into this semi-final with a huge opportunity of getting back to a county final. And we know, you know, they came in this, I suppose, under the radar in 2001. You go all the way back there, and they put one over Killare, and so they'll be hoping that this is this team's year to do that.
2 men that were pivotal in Galway's run in the All-Ireland series as well during the year. Robert Finnerty wearing number 19 today for Salthill Knocknacarra, and of course number 14 Damien Comer for Annaghdown. How much pressure is on them, or how much is expected of both those 2 players from their respective sides today?
Look, they know themselves. You know, first and foremost with Rob Finnerty, is he going to play? It looks like during the warm-up he is. I know he hasn't trained. He certainly hasn't trained all week, so there is obviously concern over his back injury. If he plays, you know, and looking down at the huddle, I'm not sure I see him. I'm not sure I see him in the huddle. So we don't. He is. He's there. He's talking to his team. So it looks like he's going to play. And they've given him a new role. They've brought him out the pitch, given him a freedom to create, and he's contributing with scores from out around the middle of the pitch. And they also have Evan Murphy there, who's really playing good football. And we know, we looked at Evan 5-6 years ago as a minor, and we thought this guy was going to be the next big thing in Galway football. Drifted away a little bit, but is doing some really good stuff this year. And probably having Sean Armstrong in the management team has been his cousin, probably helps the situation. Frankie Burke will help Damien Comer no end, but we know Damien Comer is one of the top footballers in the country, and I think Salthill will say if we can keep tabs on him, then we have a huge chance of winning this game, but that's easier said than done. St. Michael's did a really good job on him 2 weeks ago at this stage, but he got one opportunity, great ball across by Frankie Burke, buried in the roof of the net. And I think Annaghdown will feel that if they're to win this game, they'll need goals. They have the personnel to do it.
Yeah, we see Owen Kern wearing number 30. He has been out of the Annaghdown setup for a while, but he's in there in cornerback today. How big of a move is that to play Owen Kern? You know, has been, I think, been in Dublin for some time or whatever, but he's back now and he's gone in there straight away to pick up Tom O'Culhan, and there's a little bit of a shouldering going on in there straight away, Barry. So
I'm
you
surprised.
not a bit surprised what it means to both sides here. So you're going to have eyes in the back of your head here in Pearse Stadium just to keep an eye on what's going on. I can tell you the midfield lineup for Annaghdown for the throw-in is number 14 Damien Comer and number 11 Jimmer Kilcommons, where Salthill Knocknacarra are going with 8 John Maher and number 20 Mikey Culhan. They're the two midfielders up against the two Annaghdown boys. The referee for today's semi-final is Tommy Farty. Here's a quick look at the watch. We're up and underway in Pearse Stadium. Damien Comer goes for it, but it's broken down to Jimmer Kilcommons. Jimmer now, Annaghdown playing from right to left in this first half, attacking the scoreboard end down to our left-hand side. So that free is taken by Kilcommons out as far as Damien Comer. Comer now trying to play the man on the shoulder. Does that, gets it inside towards the wing-back, Dara Meehan. Meehan now offloads it. A chance here for Annaghdown as it opens up. The shot will come in from midfielder Owen Curry. That's high and over the bar. As in the early stages, Annaghdown get the opening score, all from the throw-in, held onto the ball, worked it up, and we're up and running, and a point for Annaghdown.
Yeah, and again, I've seen Annaghdown a couple of times this year. Hugely impressed with Dara Meehan at wing back. As comfortable defending as he is attacking. He has good pace, slipped a lovely ball in Owen Curry with the outside of the boot. And I think great, sign of intent by Annaghdown. As soon as Owen Curry had kicked it, they were all pushing straight up. Damien Comer pushed up and full back. Everyone was looking for it, and Ryan Ford wins the kick out. Yeah, well prepared, well set up Annaghdown in the opening stages here, as they've won that kick out again as the ball is recycled back to their captain, Enda Malarkey. Out this side it comes, and Annaghdown hold possession as they move forward now. Salthill Knocknacarra happy to sit back, and we see number 23 Michael Knocknacarra in the fold as well for Annaghdown alongside Dahi Kilcommon. So there's a couple of changes there laid on as the shot comes in from the opening point scorer Owen Curry, but goes out to the right hand side and wide. It's a couple of changes, late changes. We were told that there might be on the Annaghdown side, and that's what's happened. Yeah, certainly is. And I think we did the quarter final against St Michael's, and they've now got two. You mentioned Owen Curry and Ryan Ford back in the fray. Hard to see exactly where he's playing at the moment, but having him back, he's huge pace. They'll be looking to get him popping off the shoulder, breaking tackles and trying to get quality ball inside as well. He's a really good footballer. Evan Nolan now, after taking the pass from Sean O'Line, goes forward towards the 45 metre line, pop pass inside as Salthill Knocknacarra get the ball as far as Evan Murphy, recycled back out. Salthill happy now to work it across the 45 metre line, looking for a free player. They go back towards the centre of the field. Annaghdown lead by 1 point to no score. We're in the opening stages here. I make it 2 minutes gone in this first half as Salthill Knocknacarra try to go forward. Damien Comer is in there like a shot to intercept. Does well, holds on to the ball. 3 or 4 Salthill players around him, but in the end, too many in blue jerseys, and it's overturned by the Salthill men. John Maher now driving forward, looking for the return pass. Up there is Owen McFadden, the cornerback, back to Evan Murphy, and Murphy has time to turn around and find Sean O'Line, who changes the appointed attack to the far side. All this happening just outside the 45 metre line. First touch of the semi-final for Rob Finnerty, the man who came off after 10 or 15 minutes in the win over Tuam in the quarter-final with a back spasm, but looks to be, for the moment, moving freely enough, holds possession up and has support coming from the wing-back, Cathal Sweeney. Sweeney now looking to launch this ball in off the top towards Tom O'Culhan against Owen Kern. That's a battle that you'd imagine Culhan should be winning for those high balls in there, but Kern is sturdy stuff from his time with Galway as well, and he is a tough cornerback, but he's playing in there around full back on Tom O'Culhan. Yeah, when Tom O'Culhan woke up this morning, he probably didn't think it'd be Owen Curran that'd be facing him. And Owen Curran is a tough operator. He's a fella that if you're going to war, he's the guy that you want going with you. And he'll still have hopes of getting back onto that Galway panel. He's a fine footballer, fine defender, and Annaghdown getting loads of bodies back. Frankie Burke, the only one up top, and Damien Comer, the previous play, turned it over. Annaghdown just need to get more support when they get those turnovers, because Damien had to turned over by John Maher, but that's just one thing for Annaghdown. If they're playing defensive, once they win the turnovers, they need to go at a little bit more pace. Dahi Kilcommons now takes it on for Annaghdown, turns around, finds his captain Enda Malarkey, and Annaghdown happy enough now to keep a succession of passes going as the centre back Ryan Ford now comes into the action. Lovely ball in over the top. This all happening now just inside the 45 metre line. Lovely ball in towards Damien Comer. Comer now with taking on 2, gets a heavy tackle, still going. Is he fouled? The referee says he is fouled. It took 2 or 3 Salthill Knocknacarra players to stop him, because when he's in there in that position, Barry, he has one thing on his mind.
firstly was to get the ball, and he was always going to do that, but then he was wanted to take them on, get in on goal, but he got a fair hefty shoulder in there as well, in fairness.
That was a great ball in. I think it was Jim McKilcommons that kicked it in over the top. I'd say Damien would have hoped for the mark. It just dropped away from him, but if you just want an example of the power that he has, he was on the turn and he took a ferocious hit from Garage Armstrong, who's a big strong fella. It was actually Garage Armstrong that fell back. Damien is just so strong. It's nigh on impossible, try and dispossess him with power. You got to be patient and cute with it, but Annaghdown will be delighted to get ball into him.
Yeah, the opening 5 minutes they'll be very happy with, because they lead here in Salthill by 2 points to no score, courtesy of that point from midfielder Owen Curry early on, and that free by Frankie Burke. So 2 points to no score in favour of Annaghdown, who are putting on the pressure on the Salthill Knocknacarra midfield area. But coming forward is Cathal Sweeney. Sweeney has time then to go to Evan Nolan. And Daniel O'Flaherty says we'll spread it the far side towards his centre-back Owen Deely. Salthill Knocknacarra with no effort on goal thus far, and we've played just coming up on 6 minutes of the first half here. Conditions just about ideal now at the moment. Pitch may be a little bit heavy and wet underfoot, but no breeze in Pearse Stadium, as driving forward is the full-back Garage Armstrong. Armstrong back the field it goes. Damien Comer down to our left-hand side is left inside, one-on-one with Oman Fadden. So you can imagine if Annaghdown get a ball out around the middle, it's going to be hit route one into Damien Comer, because he's just sitting on the edge of the D right now. But Salthill Knocknacarra have possession, and Annaghdown back into the defensive structure right now, just happy to shield them out the field a bit, as Cathal Sweeney now takes it on towards the 45-metre line, eyeing up any movement inside, and it comes back all the way again outside the 45-metre line to Garage Armstrong, who decides, let's take a little run at the Annaghdown defence, but is stood up by 3 or 4 players, including Frankie Burke back there, as Daniel O'Flaherty now gets the ball into Tomo. Is it Tomo Culhan that's going to have a kick at this one from way out the field? It's going to drop in around the house. That's a dangerous ball. Rob Finnerty is in there as well, and as the very man that catches it, this could be danger for Annaghdown as the ball slips out of the grasp of the Salthill Knocknacarra captain, and Annaghdown can come away with it. And Rob Finnerty was in a very, very good position in there, kept his eye on the ball, managed to gather possession, but went to turn and slipped, and Annaghdown were there in numbers, and they can come away with it now in the maroon and white on the far side of the field, courtesy of Owen Kern, who goes past his man, still going forward. Owen Kern going to launch a ball in out towards Damien Comer, 1 against 3, and Comer wins it. Comer off the right, sees his shot blocked down. However, we've got 5 bodies back there, defenders for Salthill Knocknacarra, not including the goalkeeper Rory Lavelle, and they do well. And that's the kind of a ball that Annaghdown are trying to send into Damien Comer, because he had 3 defenders to beat, got it, but his shot at the post was blocked down brilliantly. And you see, it's like a swarm of bees, the Salthill Knocknacarra defenders had to get around Comer.
Yeah, Damien would be delighted with those sort of balls. That's 2 now he's got, crossfield diagonal balls, ones that he can win, and of course he's going to win them if they're anyways in his vicinity. But Annaghdown have a good structure. Dara Meehan back sitting in front of Tomo Culhan. They're working very hard. Rob Finnerty won the last one, but there was loads of Annaghdown bodies back there. And so Till just taking a little bit of time to figure out how they're going to break down this Annaghdown defence, because he said they're getting 13, 14 players behind the ball. Tomo Culhan, that's a great score. Super score, and that's probably what they're going to have to do. They're the ones that will break down a defence, kick it from distance. It's going to force them to push out. That's when you might get opportunities inside.
That was right on the 45-metre line, probably pretty central, but he took it on. He took the onus to have a pop at the post, and Salthill get their opening score in the 8th minute of the first half as the ball breaks down. Tomo Culhan's point from a free is the opening score for Salthill Knocknacarra, who now feel that they might go to attack. The referee is Tommy Faherty. And one thing that's evident here is the crowd that's in Pearse Stadium for this game, Barry. I know it's the first of a double header, but there's a huge crowd in for the opener. Yeah,
county semi-final day, hurling and football, always one of the highlights of the calendar. And as I said, when you have 4 teams, each semi-final is going to be hugely contested. No clear favourites. I think that draws a huge crowd as well.
An effort by Frankie Burke at a point eventually finds its way to Damien Comer. What a target man he is in there. Shot come in, curled in off the right and high and over the bar by Sean Ford. Comer, the supplier on this occasion, but great again. It was a mishit by Frankie Burke. He was going for a point, but Damien kept his eye on it all the way and had the ability to turn around and spot Sean Ford.
Yeah, brilliant by Damien Comer. Said Frankie was definitely going for one off the left. Damien Comer kept his eye on it, got his body underneath it, and he's just such good hands. As I said, when the ball is in his vicinity, he usually wins it. Lovely pass out and a great score. And Annaghdown will be delighted the way they've settled into it. 10 minutes gone, doesn't seem to be any sign of nerves. And as I said, they look like they know exactly what they're doing. Well coached and well drilled.
Yeah, 3 points to 1 the lead as the ball now is delivered up to Rob Finnerty. 21 metres out from goal to our right hand side. Rob Finnerty decides to take a shot off the left, curls it in and curls it up and over the bar. He's up on the score sheet for Salthill Knocknacarra, and that's what he can give you. I mean, he can play anywhere on the field really, but he's dangerous when he's in there within scoring distance of the goal, Barry.
Ah, yeah, absolutely. That's a great score. And, you mentioned the crowd. Anyone that has come in is witnessing a really top-quality game so far with good scores and the top players playing really, really well. But, even when Rob Finnerty started, I'm not sure who it was. I think it was Kieran Potter. He stood up. Kieran Potter knew that he was going to try and get on his left, but he just wasn't able to stop him. Kicked it over from about 30 metres. Just, that's a sign of a real class footballer.
Yeah, as Salthill Knocknacarra danger giving it away. Play on, says the referee. It still works out, however, for the Seasiders as they get this delivery in towards Rob Finnerty again. This time on the 21 metre line over on the far side of the field. And it's a cute angle. It's a difficult angle that has too much tail on it at the end. It curls out to the right hand side and wide. Wide for Salthill Knocknacarra, 1 wide for Annaghdown, and the side sharing 5 points in the opening 10.5 minutes. But Annaghdown shading it by 1, leading by 3 points to 2. The kick out to come from the Annaghdown goalkeeper James Healy, who's sporting black togs, black jersey and black leggings, so not going to get cold.
Looks the part.
Absolutely looks the part in there, but Salthill Knocknacarra looked the part in the middle of the field because they won that kick out from James Healy and they drive forward and a lovely ball in over the top. This is dangerous, but well won and well read in there by Dahi Kilcommons. He had to be alert. There was a Salthill Knocknacarra player, number 10 Evan Nolan, in there. High tackle, however, coming out on the wing back for Annaghdown is Sean Ford, and that will be a free out. Attention may be needed as well for the wing back. The last man to score on the 9th minute of the first half for Annaghdown, that sees them lead by 3 points to 2. Quick word, Barry, about the upcoming second semi-final here. I suppose we've had the last two county finalists, last two county champions, and we have the reigning county champions Montpellier defending their title. That has to be one that's going to really, really excite the Galway football public.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, at the start of the year, everyone felt that Montpellier and Moycullen were probably the two teams that were nearly guaranteed to be at this stage, or maybe even a stage further in the championship. And they meet at semi-final stage, and as you said, clash of the last two champions. Moycullen, lucky enough to get over the line against Clare Galway, didn't play that well against Lettermore either, so difficult to know where their form line is. Montpellier doing really, really well, comfortable in all their games, but they're struggling a little bit with injuries. They've lost Shane Moore and they've lost Michael Daly. Owen Finnerty went off the last day with a bad ankle injury. Interesting to see how he's recovered. So, loads of questions that'll be answered at 3:45, but as you said, a hugely intriguing game and one to whet the appetite for all GA supporters.
Absolutely. And at the other end of the championship, of course, we had the first of the relegation playoffs this morning between Monavea Abbey and Uachtarard. That finished in a draw, Barry. 1-6 for Monavea Abbey, 9 points for Uachtarard. I'm not sure it's the result that both clubs wanted, particularly with two more tough games to come for both of them and two teams going down in the championship. But I suppose the weather this morning, both sides will be happy enough to come out of that with a point.
Yeah, it was probably one that was screaming a draw all day. I think it was certainly one that if you had a few quid, if I had a few your money, Tommy, I might have put it on a draw. But that's where the real pressure is. These days out here, these county semi-finals, they're hugely enjoyable. They're ones to be savoured by every player that's out there or taking part, and the same with the management teams. But the real pressure is at the other end of it, and no team wants to go down to intermediate. All really good quality teams, and as I said, it's just unfortunate that we're losing two this year.
Play continues with Annaghdown in possession. Frankie Burke now inside the 45-metre line, trying to make a little bit of space. Recycles it back, going for a point from out the field. That's a superb effort if it goes over the bar. Comes in from the midfielder, Owen Curry, but tails out to the right-hand side and wide. Close eye kept on it there by the umpire, making sure that the right decision was called, but it just tailed out to the right-hand side and wide. Curry looking for his second point, having scored in the opening minute of the contest that gave Annaghdown the lead. They still lead here by 3 points to 2, and we're coming up to nearly the midway point of the first half, and it's even Steven as regards possession, but it's Annaghdown with those early scores. It took Salthill Knocknacarra 8 minutes to get up and running, whereas Annaghdown had 2 in the opening 5 minutes. As it's settling in now to both sides trying to take on each other's defence as Annaghdown spread it wide here over towards Sean Ford. Happy enough to go back then towards the man wearing 23, Michael Knocknacarra, loses possession. He's going to have to get up and get rid of it. The referee's going to say, is he going to give a foul? There's a stoppage to the head. So sometimes like that, you'd often see the referee, giving a free against the player in possession for overcarrying, but I think he got a knock in the head, and in fairness to the referee, Tommy Farty, he did the right thing to stop the play.
Yeah, he had to, no choice really. It looked like a fairly heavy knock to the head, so hopefully Mike will be all right. As I said, he's made a tough stuff, but one thing that's I think might be causing Salthill a little bit of confusion at the moment. So Dara Meehan is really playing as an out-and-out sweeper for Annaghdown, sitting in front of Tom O'Culhan at the moment, or whoever's playing in that full forward line. I think it's Evan Murphy that might be in there at the minute, but Salthill just a little bit of confusion over who they actually want to be the sweeper, and McFadden is there at the moment. It has been William Finnerty. Might be an opportunity maybe that they might push McFadden to wing back and leave Cathal Sweeney free and see can he cause Annaghdown problems going the other way. So it looks like an indirect free to Annaghdown, and looks like Mikey Knoxon will be okay too.
Yeah, he's the referee just checking that the vision is okay, and he's happy enough to continue. We are just gone past the midway point of the first half here. 5 points shared between the sides. Annaghdown just edging it by 1. 3 points to Salthill Knocknacarra's 2. And we haven't had a goal chance of any note so far. Frankie Burke drops the ball, wanted to take it quickly. This time goes in long in towards Damien Comer. Should be Damien Comer's, you'd imagine. He takes a heavy knock in there, goes to ground, gets a little dig in on one of the Salthill Knocknacarra players as well on the way out. But all in all, fair enough. I'd say not anything untoward in there, just getting to know you as the ball is picked away there by Owen McFadden for Salthill Knocknacarra. Gets it off to Evan Nolan now, who thought about going direct but decides to offload it, and the ball will make its way towards John Maher in the middle of the field. Maher now surveying the options. The option this time is to call in the support of Cathal Sweeney at wing back. Sweeney now trying to take on his man, gets a couple of yards and off to John Maher. Maher now looking to get the pass inside. A little bit of confusion there by Sean O'Lyon and I think it was Rob Finnerty. The Annaghdown player goes to ground close to the end line. The ball is right on the joining of the end line and the sideline down to our right hand side. As Annaghdown player comes out with it, the referee's going to call it back. The linesmen today are Chris Ryan and Martin Flaherty. But the referee's going to bring it out to the 21 metre line. He's going to throw it in. And the clock ticks into the 17th minute of the first half. Throw in ball. John Maher in against Michael Knocknacarra. The rest told to get back to the side, as Maher was always likely to be favoured to win that one. Big strong man in the middle of the field for Salthill Knocknacarra. Nothing wrong with Michael Knocknacarra either, but he just felt that he was there and he wanted to win that for his side, so he's got the free on the 21 metre line. Rob Finnerty has the opportunity to level it up with just nearly 18 minutes gone in this first half, so little or nothing between the sides, and this will level it up if Finnerty can just manage to get the left boot, curl it in. It should be bread and butter stuff for him. He curls it in, he just gets it inside the post enough. Yeah, no bother to Rob Finnerty, and strikes the ball so easy from a free, Barry. Yeah,
really good on that in that position. Those, suppose as we would say bread and butter, but certainly wouldn't be bread and butter if we were taking them, Tommy, but bread and butter to someone of the class of Rob Finnerty. But back to John Maher, to me he's probably the most improved Salthill footballer this year. Even looking at the guy, you can see he has everything athletically. He's big, he's strong, he's fit. He has loads of football. Maybe over the last year or two just lacked a little bit of confidence, but looks like John O'Mahony has worked very, very hard with him, or the Salthill management team, and he's comfortable on the ball now. He's demanding the ball, and he's now one of the real leaders in that Salthill team.
And Annaghdown have brought back Damien Comer now. They've brought him out of full forward, brought him back towards his own half-back line. Obviously, they're a little bit worried at the amount of possession and chances Salthill Knocknacarra have created in the last few minutes. That sees them level. Rob Finnerty sells a dummy, gets a lovely pass inside. Oh, excellent pass here. Opportunity now. Salthill Knocknacarra go for goal. Oh, what a block. What a super block by Dara Meehan on Garage Armstrong. Armstrong got on the end of an interchange of passes, went low with the shot. James Healy was on the line, but he didn't need the services of James Healy. Flashing across the goal was Dara Meehan at expense of a 45. Great save.
Very, very brave. Came across the goal, read the opportunity, read the danger. Garage Armstrong was going for goal. wound up the left foot, and a brilliant block by Darren Meehan. But you have to say, brilliant hands as well. Nice pop ball by Rob Finnerty, with really quick hands by Daniel O'Flaherty to create the chance for Garrett Armstrong. And as I said, a great block by Darren Meehan. So real quality in all the play.
Rory Lavelle, in the 20th minute, has an opportunity to give Salthill Knocknacarra the lead for the first time in this semi-final. He's about 50 metres in from the sideline on the far side. Little or no breeze. Should have plenty of purchase on this. Drops it in high. It's sailing high up and over the bar. That's a super strike by the goalkeeper, Rory Lavelle. It gives the home side the lead here. The lead by 4 points to 3, Barry. We're in the 20th minute.
He's a super striker of the ball. I was chatting to Liam Salmon on the way in, and we were just looking at him, admiring him in the warm-up. Left foot and right foot. He was hitting lads from 30, 40 metres straight into their chest. Really, really top keeper, top kicker of the ball, and to have that in your armoury, like that was a difficult 45, made it look simple.
The worrying thing for Annaghdown, Barry, is that they haven't scored since the 9th minute of the first half. They were gone over 11 minutes now, and in the meantime, 3 unanswered strikes, 2 from Rob Finnerty and 1 from a 45 by Rory Lavelle, has seen Salthill Knocknacarra take the lead. So, if you were the management team, especially Damien Dowdy, be saying, look lads, we need to get a few points on the board before half time.
Yeah, but just a little bit worried. Like, they're doing well and getting ball. They're doing well defensively. They have good structure. They're all working really hard. They're doing well when they're looking to get ball into Damien Comer. I think they're down a little bit in the half forward line. They don't really have a centre forward that can come and take ball and create play. Maybe that's something that they might look at putting Damien there and leaving Frankie Burke inside on his own, or maybe vice versa.
They still have possession, but they've gone forced back by Salthill, back towards the middle of the field. But they're happy to hold on to it as Salthill Knocknacarra set up their defensive structure here. But it's centre forward Jim Kilcommons now that gets it off towards Dahi Kilcommons. Ryan Ford to Michael Knockton, and again it's crossfield stuff from Annaghdown. There's not a lot of movement inside at the moment. Damien Comer is outside the 45 metre line. He's not a target in there. Frankie Burke is in there hovering around the 21 metre line inside the D, trying to make a few little darting runs. He makes one now, but he's not found on this occasion. The man that is found is Enda Malarkey, the captain, and Malarkey off the left drops it in and into the hands of the waiting Rory Lavelle. It was a shot at a point, but it just never seemed to have the power behind it to get itself over the crossbar. 21 and a half minutes gone. Salthill Knocknacarra lead by 4 points to 3 as Evan Nolan picks it up this side of the field. Fist pass towards the centre. Waiting for it there was Daniel O'Flaherty. And again, it's a slow build-up, but patient by Salthill Knocknacarra as Annaghdown bodies retreat back. We've only got one Annaghdown player past the halfway line down to our left-hand side as Salthill Knocknacarra now look for a little gap or a weakness in this Annaghdown defence to try and register another score. Leading by 4 points to 3. Low scoring semi-final, but interesting nonetheless. As the ball is skipped away, you just can't hop the ball on the surface, and Annaghdown do well to stay with the Cathal Sweeney. I think that's a lesson for all the players out there. You might get a hop on a certain part of it, but because of the weather, the ball just won't come back up to you.
No, the ground is very dead, but that's to be expected this time of the year. But again, not the highest scoring game, 22 and a half minutes gone, 7 scores, but tactically very intriguing. And as I said, Annaghdown, it's certainly a different dynamic and a different setup than they had against St. Michael's. So it's certainly something they've been working on over the last couple of weeks. It's serving them well defensively, but as I said, on the attack, they're just a little bit slow and not causing Salthill a huge amount of problems, bar that long ball into Damien Comer that they've got a couple of scores from.
Jimmy Kilcommons went on a great run there, brings in Dahi now. But again, they're forced back out the field, and that's the problem for Annaghdown at the moment. They just can't get past that break line and get inside. Frankie Burke, the only man inside the 21 metre line, standing on the edge of the square. He's not a target for the moment. Damien Comer is, however, and Comer now back out towards his captain, Enda Malarkey, and a couple of Annaghdown players in a line across the field here, trying to work their way in as the ball is eventually got into the wing back, Sean Ford, who's already scored in this game. But Annaghdown could do with a score. They haven't scored since the 9th minute, now in the 24th minute. So 15 minutes without a score for Annaghdown, who started brightly and had 3 in the opening 9 minutes. As coming forward, cornerback Jonathan Craven off to Damien Comer off the left. That's a huge effort by Damien Comer. You won't see a good point as that, I'd imagine, in the rest of the day. Off the left boot, falling backwards nearly. But that's what he can give Annaghdown.
All right, they just need to give him the ball. He's in a rich vein of form. He's playing well. He's confident, and when he's in that sort of form, as an opposition, you need to be very, very careful. But look, I think Salthill will be half saying, look, if Damien Comer gets enough scores or gets a few scores, fair enough. As long as we can keep the rest of them out and get enough down the far end ourselves, we'll be fine. But you know that they're not overly shooting the lights out either. And I don't think Evan Murphy has had a shot at goal. Rob Finnerty's had one and a free, so they're not creating a huge amount of scoring chances themselves either.
As they enjoy possession now, we won't even mention the dreaded word of extra time or anything like that at this early in the game, but at the current situation of 4 points apiece and the score is scarce, you just never know as that ball is fisted in over the top. It was a hit and hope more than anything else because it wasn't directed at anybody in particular, and it was a maroon jersey that got on the end of it, and Annaghdown are happy now to work it across the field on the far side. Annaghdown 4 points, Salthill Knocknacarra 4, 25 minutes gone on the clock, 5 minutes plus additional time to go to the break here, and both sides have just managed to get 4 points each. They've Annaghdown created probably 6 chances, 2 wides, and Salthill Knocknacarra with just that 1 wide as the ball is picked up by Jimmer Kilcommons now coming forward. Nice lazy little fist pass over the top towards Dahi. Dahi now trying to skip past a corner back, needs support, will come back out again towards Diarmid, and Diarmid goes all the way back towards the man with 23 on his back, Michael Knockton, who picked up an injury early on the head, but is okay to continue as Annaghdown now go in search of the lead score. Pass was a little bit under hit there, picked up there by the wing forward, Dara Hegarty. Hegarty now having to do a lot of running, does well, coming off the shoulder there, great ball. Is he brought to ground? He is brought to ground. The wing back, Dara Meehan, and that's probably one of the ways where, as the shot comes in, we're going to go back for the foul. That's one of the ways that you can beat a defence, is just hold it up. You got a man coming at pace off the shoulder, and the pass was great, and it forced the Salthill Knocknacarra man into pulling him to ground. Yeah,
certainly, and I was going to say it, a few minutes ago, that I thought Ryan Ford could be one of those players that when Annaghdown were being a little bit lethargic in their build-up, that maybe he could come as a strike runner because he's huge pace. But again, Dara Meehan, I mentioned him earlier on, just his huge pace, brilliant reader of the game, and I suppose to a certain extent played for the free, but dead right to do so. One player I think that deserves huge mention is Dahi Kilcommons. I think he's had 3 turnovers working from this left half forward spot. He's literally hasn't come inside to a certain extent more than 6 or 7 metres from the sideline. He's working up and down the line. The battle between himself and Sean O'Line is very interesting. Salthill trying to get Sean O'Line on the ball because Dahi Kilcommons is dropping back, but he's having a big influence on the game. He's working very, very hard for them.
Of course, it was a busy weekend in county finals in Galway already. We had the Junior A final here in Pearse Stadium yesterday. A win for Clifton over Athenry in that one. So our Junior A champions in Galway are Clifton. They go on and represent Galway in the Connacht Championship. And Jamore McHale's, Barry, finally, after what happened last year in that game that they feel they threw away, they eventually got over the line against Kilconnelly in a low-scoring final yesterday in Tuam Stadium.
Yeah, low-scoring, but that won't bother Jamore McHale's in 10 years' time when they're looking at when they came up. They won't be too worried about the score, but delighted to be up and probably have quality that they'll be fine in senior. They won't find the step up too dramatic. They've good forwards, they've good footballers all around the pitch, and with Gary Delaney there, they'll be hoping he stays on. He's well experienced from his time with Corofin.
Damien Comer
is left
with the lead point.
That's a brilliant score.
That's another super score, Barry, as we could have crossed you there, but it's a lead point for Annaghdown, 5 points to 4. We said they hadn't scored between the 24th and 19th minute, but now we're in the 28th minute. The last 2 points, both of them off the boot of Damien Comer, one from a free, one from play, 5 points to 4, as we'll get the official added on time in a couple of moments. If 2 to go of normal time as the kick out comes this side of the field over the head of the Annaghdown attacker. That was a great ball by Rory Vell, straight into the hands of Cathal Sweeney, who goes for the return pass. John Maher comes into the equation now for Salthill Knocknacarra. Little pop pass off to Paddy Kitt. Kitt now back to Sean Sweeney. To Cathal Sweeney. As into the fray comes centre forward Evan Murphy. He's been a little bit quiet to say the least here. As Rob Finnerty now has the opportunity, spins back inside, has to go down on the ball again, under pressure by the Annaghdown defenders. Again, a real example of how that ball just won't come up off the surface. Rob tried to sell the dummy, hop the ball, and the ball again is sitting over the top. Rob Finnerty goes to ground, but there's no foul as Annaghdown set up really well back there, kept their eye on the ball, and now they can come away with it. This side, the stand side of Pearse Stadium, Frankie Burke way back in his own half-back line. That's the type of work that's needed to win the county semi-final, and the ball is spread over on the far side. Little bit of space emerging now for Annaghdown as they lead by 5 points to 4. We're in the final minute of the first half here in Pearse Stadium. Annaghdown with a runner on the shoulder on the far side. What's the move now for Annaghdown? Damien Comer on the edge of the square inside, being marshalled by not one but two Salthill Knocknacarra defenders, which gives space out in the middle for Frankie Burke as the sun tries to make its way out of the clouds here in Pearse Stadium. We don't have rain.
There will be at least
2 minutes of additional time will be played. 2.5 to go to half time as the ball is recycled back by Annaghdown. They're happy at the moment. They lead by 5 points to 4 as this cat and mouse game becomes even more cagey now as we come up to half time. Both sides will feel another score for them. For Salthill would level it up. For Annaghdown might give them a 2-point advantage going in at half time if they can get another point. Long ball in over the top this side towards Johnny Craven. Jonathan now has support in Sean Ford. Ford now moving forward, gone inside, still going forward, needs to try and get it down. He's gone to ground. That's the free in for Annaghdown. That could be the 2-point gap, Barry, as we go and tick very closely into injury time. 2 minutes will be added on. Damien Comer goes to the ball. And that was a great move there. Firstly by Jonathan Craven, interchange with Sean Ford, and for a wing back who's already scored, just loves to get forward.
Yeah, and I think Salthill are struggling in terms of the Salthill or the Annaghdown backs, midfielders. You know, they're interchanging so much. Like Johnny Craven is marking Evan Murphy. He ends up at left half forward, and it's just causing Salthill a few problems. And as I said, Annaghdown was really patient play, a couple of big switches, brilliant play by Sean Ford. And as we said earlier on about Rob Finnerty's, this is a bread and butter one for Frankie Burke.
Frankie Burke just pops it nicely over the crossbar. Not too much height in that, wasn't needed. 6 points to 4. Frankie Burke gets his second point of the county semi-final to bring his side's tally to 6. And we've a minute to go of the added on time here in Pearse Stadium. The last 3 scores have come for Annaghdown. They trailed by 4-3 after 20 minutes, but they got their shooting boots back on and they now lead by 2. What have Salthill Knocknacarra got to offer before half time? Nothing right now. Frankie Burke skips in to overturn a sloppy pass by the Seasiders, and now there's a little bit of space opening up for Annaghdown, who they want to finish strong in the first half. Ball gathered up there. He needs support. There is no support. It comes from Sean O'Lyon for Salthill Knocknacarra. Frankie Burke is in there tackling as if he was playing up in the sports ground for Connacht. He wasn't going to thou shalt not pass, and in the end the ball, the free by William Finnerty, was struck into the back of wing back Sean Ford. So has to be retaken and taken quickly because we're in the final 30 seconds here of the added on time being added on by referee Tommy Fardy. And Salthill Knocknacarra trailed by 2, 6 points to 4 in favour of Annaghdown as the ball is picked up in the middle of the field by Mikey Culhan. Have Salthill got something up their sleeve now just before half time? What it is a long delivery in a top of Healy. Healy goes up, taps it out, and who's there? It's the man wearing number 23, Michael Knockton, that's there. And Annaghdown dealing with that long ball in over the top, relatively easy. And I suppose, Barry, you have to credit James Healy there. He didn't panic. He knew that if he got it 2 fists to it, fisted away, there was enough of maroon jerseys there to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, as the ref blows the whistle for half time, Damien Dowd will be delighted. I think John O'Mahony has a good bit of work to do at half time in terms of trying just to get a bit of structure on his Salthill team. And you know, I gave up after 6, to be honest, counting the amount of times that Salthill Knocknacarra hand passed the ball over the top of an Annaghdown player and it was intercepted. So I think, you know, Salthill Knocknacarra will nearly have to try and take a lesson from Annaghdown, and that being patient, holding the ball a little bit more, try and draw a couple of those Annaghdown players back out because they're getting 12, 13, 14 players behind the ball. Very difficult to get anything inside. So I think that's probably the key message from John O'Mahony, is that Salthill are going to have to be more patient. You know, their basics just a little bit better, and as I said, they've loads of work to do, but they have the footballers to do it.
Absolutely. It's reached half time here in Pearse Stadium in the first of the Galway Senior Football Championship semi-finals. The advantage at the moment lies with Annaghdown as they lead at the break by 2 points. Half-time score here in Pearse Stadium. It's Annaghdown 6 points, Salthill Knocknacarra 4 points. We'll be back for live second half commentary shortly. Welcome back to Pear Stadium, Salthill, Knocknacarra, the first team back out for the second half of this first of our Galway Senior Football Championship semi-finals, trailing by 2 points at half-time to Annaghdown. Barry, you're having a quick look around there to see if there's any changes at half-time on the Salthill Knocknacarra team. None that evident just yet, but I think Salthill are going to be waiting another while for Annaghdown to come out, so they're going to regroup in the middle of the field and have a quick word. I see Norman Costello going out there, John O'Mahony kind of staying on the sideline down in front of us here at the Bonnish door, but interesting to see what would have been said in the half-time in Salthill Knocknacarra dressing room.
Yeah, well, John O'Mahony and his management team had a good conflab before they went in. They were 5-6 minutes together in a group before they went into the dressing room, and I think that's a reflection on, you know, they know themselves. They've loads of good footballers. They've loads of ability. You know, a few tweaks here and there, and they'll find themselves back in this game. You know, they're still only 2 down, but they'll find themselves maybe finding the match a little bit easier, because at the moment they're doing okay defensively. They haven't really coughed up any great goal chances. They've only conceded 6 points, but they are finding it difficult to get the ball inside and get the ball inside with any danger. They've had the one goal chance, you know, with Garrod Armstrong, brilliant block by Dara Meehan, and you know, I think they'll be looking for more of that patient build up, quick hands, get runners off the shoulder, and if they do that, then they can cause Annaghdown more problems than they've caused them at the minute. But look, probably Damien Dowd and his management team will be just looking for more of the same, loads of patience, keeping the basics right, loads of composure, and get more ball into Damien Comer. Simple messages.
Yeah, Damien Comer will start at the middle of the field again for the throw-in here alongside Jim McCommons. So as you were at the start of the game when we had the 2 big men in the middle of the field for Annaghdown, as we have a quick look around. No changes on the Annaghdown team either at half-time. So both managers happy to go with what they have at the start of the second half, as the weather continues to hold up here in Pear Stadium. It's dry, it's not breezy, and it's certainly conducive to an interesting second 30 minutes here as the crowd continues to pour in. A lot of Annaghdown and Mike Cullen supporters on their way in here as the referee Tommy Farty gets the second half up and underway. The ball is picked up in the middle of the field by Mikey Culhan. First chance now for Salthill Knocknacarra to try and reduce this deficit at the start of the second half. Ball recycled here to the man in the middle of the field. We see a number 9 on for Salthill Knocknacarra, Donny Hunt. I don't think he started, Barry, so
no.
There is a change. So we'll pick up the number in a couple of moments, not announced on the PA system here just yet. Too many steps by Rob Finnerty, and that's going to be a free out. So there is a change, Barry, there, just spotted.
Double substitution
here
on
we
the
go.
Salthill Knocknacarra team. We have number 15, Brian Conlon, replaces number 12, Paddy Kiss.
2 changes.
And,
Brian Conlon in.
Number 9,
Donny Hunt in as well.
Number 10, Evan Nolan.
So Evan Nolan goes off. So a couple of changes made there, and straight away at half time. So Salthill Knocknacarra not slow as we thought to make the changes, Barry.
Yeah, and again they've strength and depth in the panel. We've seen both those players play some games over the years so far. So I think John O'Mahony's right, get them in, give them an opportunity to try and improve things. But Annaghdown will be delighted again. They soak up pressure and get the attack on the go.
Chance here now, ball recycled back out towards Curry. He thought about having the shot but was closed off pretty quickly. The ball recycled back to Dara Hegarty. Annaghdown playing from left to right. The second half, Michael Lockton picks it up in the middle of the field. He's not going to go for a point, gets it to Frankie Burke, who might think about it, but too far out, 40 metres out, but instead goes the long ball in over the top past John Maher, who was caught asleep. Chance here for Annaghdown to get the opening score, and it is a score by Owen Curry, his second of the contest. He got the one in the first half, probably in the very same time inside the opening 60 seconds, 90 seconds, and he got himself inside. John Maher just caught sleeping.
Again, loads of patience by Annaghdown, and a brilliant ball over the top by Frankie Burke, and a lovely finish by Owen Curry, his second of the day.
Yeah, second point gives Annaghdown the lead at the start of the second half to 3 points, but a chance here now for Salthill Knocknacarra, bearing down a goal. Shot comes in, rifled into the back of the net. What a score by Cathal Sweeney. An instant response by Salthill Knocknacarra, took on the Annaghdown defence, and that is a really, really crucial goal in the scheme of things here. It's the opening goal of the game, but it's levelled it up at 7 points to 1-4.
Brilliant ball, brilliant hands by Tom O'Culhan, found Cathal Sweeney. I'm not sure that it take a little touch, but it definitely rifled into the top right-hand corner of the net, and just the energy lift that Salthill needed.
Absolutely. It came in the 3rd minute of the second half, and it's a goal for Salthill Knocknacarra, who now level it up. John Maher sending the ball across the face of the goal. Tom O'Culhan was in there, but so too was Owen Kern, and he bulldozes his way out, to put it mildly, and gets the pass away. Foul play on, says the referee. Advantage to Annaghdown. Will it continue because it's gone up over the top? Will he go back for the free? No, he won't. It's Annaghdown who give away the advantage that they had by sending a straight pass out around the middle of the field. Ball now with Tom O'Culhan. We're level in Pearse Stadium at 7 points to 1 goal and 4. This might just open up this semi-final a little bit more, as Annaghdown led at half-time by 6 points to 4. But that crucial goal by Cathal Sweeney has now seen the sides level. As Salthill Knocknacarra try and get it over here to Sean O'Line. A little bit more zip and in the step of the Salthill Knocknacarra players as Tom O'Culhan goes for a huge effort from out the field. Tom O'Culhan curls it in with the right boot, gives a little touchstone. Curry on the way out as well. But that's a quick turnaround.
To bring in 2 big kicks by Tom O'Culhan from distance. Again, we know he has that in his locker. We've seen him do it for years. Hasn't been in the game as much as Salthill would have liked, but when they really needed a big kick, he found it for them.
1 goal and 5 points for Salthill Knocknacarra. Annaghdown 7 points. Annaghdown getting the opening score in the second half to go 3 ahead. But that goal by Cathal Sweeney and a point added to by Tom O'Culhan has given the home side a lead here in Salthill by 1-5 to 7 points. Now it's Annaghdown's turn to come at Salthill Knocknacarra in this close contest. Good work again by Jim Kilcommons, been involved in a lot of the play for Annaghdown. Off to Michael Knockton, another busy man out around the middle of the field. And off it goes on the far side towards Dahi Kilcommons. Dahi now, as look back at that goal, the Salthill goal was deflected to the back of the net by the Annaghdown cornerback, Jonathan Craven. So the shot was from Sweeney, deflected to the net by Jonathan Craven, as Salthill Knocknacarra come now and looking for another score, leading by 1-5 to 7. A little bit of space in the middle. Sweeney decides to get it off to Tomo, and Tomo will have another go from out the field, off the right boot, banks straight over the crossbar. When he's on form like that, it's hard to mark him.
Yeah, he is. Now, he wouldn't want to get overly involved with Owen Curran. Like, there's still a load of time left. The last thing you want is, 2 great kicks and you're bet by a point at the end. Maybe keep his powder dry. If he's a few words, leave them till the very end. But he's certainly on fire. They need to get him more ball.
It's all Salthill Knocknacarra at the moment as Tomo goes for it over on the far side. Beaten to it by Owen Curran. Owen Curran coming out, brought to the ground. High tackle. Referee may go in to Rob Finnerty and have a word with him in there on that tackle. Is he going to call him over, or is he just saying it's his first infringement? As Norman Costello has a word with John O'Mahony down on the sideline here. Referee is going to go in and speak to Rob Finnerty for that tackle on Owen Curran, as they will issue some class of a warning to the captain of Salthill Knocknacarra, which is a yellow card in the early stages of the second half. So yellow card for Rob Finnerty for that tackle on Owen Curran. As the ball now is gathered by Annaghdown. Jim Kilcommons now drives forward. Big, strong centre half forward. Loves to carry the ball. Gets it up to Curry, who has scored 2 points for Annaghdown. A little bit of space emerging in the middle of the field now as Michael Knockton goes forward. Past the 45-metre line. Back out again towards this captain and full-back Enda Malarkey. Side now trailing by 2 points. Having led by 3 in the early stages of this second half here. It's 6 minutes gone. The ball is sent over towards Jarlath Craven here. He has Kilcommons free on his own inside if he can spot him, because there's a little bit of space in there for Jeremy Kilcommons. Kilcommons thought about taking the shot, gets it off to Frankie Burke, who doesn't have to be asked twice to take on this Salthill defence. Drops it in around the house. Dangerous ball is in there, very close to the goal. Damien Comer got a touch on it in there towards, put it goal bound, but Lavelle was alert to manage to get to it, and that goal chance gone a begging for Annaghdown, but just going to show you how dangerous Damien Comer is in there on the edge of the square. But Salthill deal with it, but to give away the ball in the middle of the field, picked up by Malarkey. Malarkey surely foul, no play on, says the referee, as Salthill Knocknacarra can try and work it forward here now. Ball crossfield towards the wing back Daniel O'Flaherty, and O'Flaherty now can move it out to this side, and Salthill Knocknacarra content now just to string a couple of passes together in the middle of the field. With 7 minutes gone, they lead by 1-6 to 7 points, courtesy of that deflected goal bound effort from Cathal Sweeney. They got a touch off the cornerback from Annaghdown and deflected into the top right hand corner of the net as we look out to the goal down on our left hand side. Salthill Knocknacarra lead by 2, 1-6 to 7. Still a long way to go, as Barry alluded to earlier. 7.5 minutes gone of the second half. The terraces begin to fill up a little bit on the far side as well, prior to our second semi-final here at 3:45 between Mike Cullen and Montpellier Mylaw.
I think there's a notable switch in Salthill's style of play as well, Tommy, in this half. We talked about being more patient. If you look at even this play, they're over and back. They're not rushing things like they did in the first half, trying with little passes over the top. They're over and back, trying to find a little gap, and it's proven effective for them.
Annaghdown are going to bring in number 10, Ian Burke, who didn't start in a couple of moments at the next stop and play here in Pearse Stadium, because I feel a change or two might be needed. Finnerty hops the ball out around the middle of the field as time to get the pass away then is being chased down by cornerback Kieran Potter. But Salthill, Knocknacarra now. Finnerty is pushed right back out towards the middle of the field, but has time and the confidence and patience just to turn around and go for the return pass again. Advantage being played here. No advantage is going to come from that. So we're going to go back for the free between the 45 and 65 metre line on the far sideline for Salthill, Knocknacarra. Rob Finnerty is the man that'll wait for it. The referee is going to issue a card as well, is he, to the cornerback Kieran Potter of Annaghdown. We've just had one yellow card to Rob Finnerty at the start of this second half, as a referee allowing the change to come in. Dara Hegarty is coming off for Annaghdown, and coming into the action is number 10, Ian Burke.
Number 10, Ian Burke replaces number 12.
Kieran Potter picks up the yellow card, so one yellow apiece. 9 minutes gone in the second half, so 21 minutes to go of normal time still here. Loads of time for either of these sides, but it's Salthill, Knocknacarra now very much to the fore, buoyed on by that goal from Cathal Sweeney, deflected off the cornerback Jonathan Craven. Salthill now try to work at this side. Is there too much on that? It's going to go very close to the sideline, but flick forward by the Salthill centre back Owen Dealey, but only into the waiting hands of an Annaghdown player as Enda Malarkey now decides to go on a solo run. He has Potter beside him. Kieran now soloing between the 45 and 65 metre line. Works it back out. Annaghdown need to score now, you'd imagine, just to give them a little bit of confidence coming back in. Lovely ball in towards Frankie Burke. Player free in here in the middle as well. A chance here. This could be... Well, if the Annaghdown player went to ground, that was surely going to be a penalty, but he didn't go to ground, and a credit to Rory Lavelle as well. He intercepted that as the ball spins away from Rob Finnerty in the middle of the field. Referee says there's a pull on the jersey there, and Salthill, Knocknacarra get away with one. But that was a goal-bound chance there for the wing-back, Sean Ford, as he made his way forward. You just wonder, Barry, had he got to touch the ball and gone to ground, that there may have been a penalty there for Annaghdown. Yeah,
Rory Lavelle did well, though. He read the danger early. He just got in, was a Sean Ford's eye line, and he took his eyes off the ball, just got a touch on it, but not in the right direction. And that's two big goal chances for Annaghdown. Damien Comer, the previous one with the long ball in. Rory Lavelle did really well, but I'd say Damien will be disappointed he didn't get it either side of him. And, Frankie Burke did well to spot the runner there. And, you'd hope for Annaghdown's sake they won't rule those missed chances.
Yeah, play opening up a little bit now as well. Referees playing an advantage to Salthill for an off-the-ball pull on the centre-back. But that has since gone now as Owen Kern comes out on top of his man there, but picked up by John Maher, being closely pursued by the Annaghdown defender. But a little bit of space now on the far side. Rob Finnerty is going to wind up from outside the D, drop it into the hands of the Annaghdown goalkeeper, James Healy. And Sean Ford comes to the assistance to help relieve the danger in there. And Annaghdown have to work it out from way back inside their own 45 metre line and try and get the ball forward. They scored the only point of the second half after 2 minutes. That's 9 minutes ago now, to lead by 7-4. But then we had a goal and 2 points. Cathal Sweeney's goal and 2 points by Tom O'Culhan have given the home side a 2-point advantage. As Annaghdown substitute, Ian Burke gets in on the action on the far side of the field. The referee says no foul. Annaghdown claiming that was a push on one of their attackers over there, but it's easily dealt with by Salthill, Knocknacarra, who are beginning to play with a little bit more confidence as the ball is spread this side of the field, and space emerges now up the middle for Salthill, Knocknacarra, and for wing back Daniel O'Flaherty. Johnny Hunt being put on loads of pressure there. That's great work by Annaghdown, and in particular Jimmer Kilcommons to stay at it, and he's looking to try and earn himself a free. The referee says he's overcarried it. That's harsh from an Annaghdown perspective. He was brought to ground, deemed to have overplayed it, but you could see, tough decision, I'd say, on Annaghdown there. But referee Tommy Faherty's decision that the man in maroon overplayed the ball, and it allows Salthill, Knocknacarra now to garnish possession out around the middle again. Ball back to Sean O'Line. O'Line now, little fits pass forward. It's better now from Salthill, Knocknacarra as John Maher drives forward, gets it off, goes for the return, but it's too much on it. Brilliantly read by Owen Kernan there. He's having a super game. Barry just saying to me in my earpiece here that I can hear him. He is playing a super game, and you know, only for him, like, there's a couple of times in there where he's done interceptions and put in a few little heavy hits in there as well, and that's keeping the Annaghdown defence together in there.
Yeah, look, Tom O'Culhan has got 3 really good points from distance, but any of those 50-50 battles, there's only one winner. As I Owen Curran's around a long time, he's a really, really good defender, you know, and he's going to keep the fight going all day. And just for Annaghdown, that just needs to bring a little bit more energy to it. Salthill have brought huge energy to the second half, a much bigger lift in energy levels from them. Annaghdown just have waned a little bit, and what you don't want for their sake is that, you know, they find that energy in the last 5 minutes and they just leave it too late. So I think if they can just bring a little bit more to it, a little bit more enthusiasm, and try and get on the ball a little bit more, all of them, then I think that they can still find their way back into this game. But as you said, Salthill just bringing a little bit more to it at the moment.
Annaghdown now going in search of a score to reduce the deficit. The shot will come in, but it's hit and hope more than anything else by the wing back, straight into the hands of Rory Lavelle. The effort coming in from Dara Meehan there, but he was forced to shoot from a long range out at a difficult angle, and certainly couldn't get enough of purchase and curl on that one to get it near the uprights and get it over the crossbar, and allows Salthill Knocknacarra now through Evan Murphy to come forward. Long ball in over the top towards Conlon. Conlon does well to take it down in front of his man. Still going forward. This is dangerous here now for Annaghdown, and an opportunity for Salthill Knocknacarra. Rob Finnerty, should be a point by Finnerty. Finnerty strikes it high. Finnerty strikes it out to the left hand side and wide. You would have put your money on him, Barry, to fire that one over. He got a lot of curl on it and too much in the end, and out to the left hand side and wide.
Yeah, Brian Conlon did really well to hold that ball. The ball just stuck to one hand, took on, I thought he'd taken a little bit too much out of it. Lovely ball back to Rob, and just on his right foot should have scored it, and maybe at times, you know, he's had a couple of chances now that could have put Annaghdown away, so he needs to just sharpen up on that side of things a bit.
Annaghdown searching for a score to bring themselves closer to Salthill Knocknacarra. The trail by 2, 1-6-7. We've got about 15 minutes to go. 15 minutes gone as Ian Burke now drives forward for Annaghdown. This is a chance for Burke. The substitute has come on. That's a super score off the right boot by Ian Burke. Gives a fist pump to the crowd as well. 8 points to 1-6. Game on still, Barry.
Yeah, the fist pump is nearly worth another score, but that's what they need. You know, there is space. Salthill are going relatively man for man. They're not dropping a huge amount of bodies back. So if Annaghdown players, as we said, just energy, if they just go at their players, go at their markers a little bit more, they could get joy from that. And fair play to Ian Burke. He saw space, he took on the Salthill defence, and it was a really good score.
Salthill now play keep ball inside their own D down to our right hand side. They go back to Rory Lavelle, and the ball will eventually come out as far as Mikey Culhan. Mikey now soloing forward. Midfield partner John Maher comes in to assist. He steps past his man, Enda Malarkey, drives forward. Rangy midfielder. Lovely ball inside. Returned to Maher, and Maher gets it off now. But again, there was too many bodies in there from Annaghdown. They managed to spill the ball away, but it fell kindly for Rob Finnerty now. Finnerty with a man over the sides to have a pop at the post, but turns back again just at the last moment. Salthill Knocknacarra are penalised for over-carrying, so Tommy Faherty is being consistent with these over-carrying decisions. You know, you're not going to get away with them extra steps today.
No, he's certainly known for that, and he does pull in. In fairness to him, he is consistent, but again, you know, I think it was Dara Meehan stayed patient, got his near hand in, and a really good bit of defending. And as I said, they're the big moments and the big energy lifts that Annaghdown need to get them right back into this thing.
They have possession now, but they're well back inside their own 45-metre line. No particular hurry for Sean Ford to put on the afterburners or drive forward very quickly. It's all measured, it's all calm, and eventually finds his way to Frankie Burke, who steps inside his man, but is pulled, and the referee again, which is baffling sometimes.
He's evening it up.
It's a couple of decisions now that have gone against Annaghdown in particular that they won't be happy with, but Frankie Burke came into the tackle, he was held onto the ball too long according to the referee, and it was a free out to Salthill Knocknacarra, who lead by 1-6 to Annaghdown's 8 points. And remember, there will be extra time at the end of normal time if the sides are level at the final whistle from Tommy Faherty. So right now, it's very much in the melting pot here in Pearse Stadium. Is there a goal in Annaghdown, or can Salthill Knocknacarra manage to build on this 1 point lead? They got them scores in the opening 5 minutes of the second half, 1 goal and 2 points. So they haven't scored for some time now either. So it's a chance for Owen Dealey now to move it forward towards Tomo, who scored 2 points from out around the same area. wanted to go for the return pass, but was tracked all the way by Owen Kearns as the ball comes back to William Finnerty now, to John Maher. Steps inside the 45-metre line. Is he thinking about having a shot? No. He gets it off to Tom O'Culhan. Tomo now has support. Stays around the point of attack out there. Salthill Knocknacarra now working forward. This could be a score. A fisted effort that's gone high and over the bar. It's come in from the man that's been introduced at half-time, number 9, Donny Hunt. A well-taken score, well worked by Salthill Knocknacarra. Annaghdown are going to be in the sub, but we're back to 2 points, Barry.
Yeah, Aidan Burke comes in and he's had a really good year for Annaghdown as well. Probably feels he's unlucky not to start today, but great score, and he has done well, Donny Hunt, since he's come in. He's brought a bit more bite to that Salthill Knocknacarra midfield, half-forward area. Loads of running, loads of energy from him, and that's a really good score. Hand passed it over the bar, took the right option.
Salthill Knocknacarra now have an injury right down on the sideline here as the kick out.
The Annaghdown team, number 24, Aidan Burke.
Aidan Burke comes in
8,
instead of Owen Curry, just been confirmed on the PA system behind us here in the stadium. As Annaghdown now are back to a 2-point deficit, and they trail by 1-7 to 8 points. Owen Curran happy to give it over as Damien Comer in our far vision tries to work himself in towards the 21-metre line. He's probably been around the square in a couple of moments' time if Frankie Burke can get this ball inside. Still going, Frankie Burke. Doesn't want to hold on to it too long after being penalised in the earlier play a couple of moments ago. It's the aforementioned Damien Comer now comes off the right boot from a ridiculous angle. That's high, and has that gone out to the left-hand side and wide. A rushed effort in the end, probably by Damien Comer. They're great when they come off. Salthill Knocknacarra bring in Charlie Power.
Number 21, Charlie Power, replaces number 20, Mikey Culhan.
So Mikey Culhan comes off and has been replaced by number 21, Charlie Power. So both management teams emptying the bench, Barry, and I suppose look down there, you see Jack Dowd about to come in for Annaghdown as well. It's more than just a 50-man game, as we know too well. So, but particularly in the semi-final when it's, it's intense out there, and you use up a lot of energy right throughout the game. You need your substitutes to be ready.
Yeah, I'd say Mikey Culhan with an injury, bad kick out.
Opportunity here for Damien Comer. Will he get the score here? He kicks it very high, curling in. It's gone up and over the bar. It's all stems from the bad kick out. Annaghdown back to a 1-point deficit, 1-7 Salthill Knocknacarra, and down 9 points. Poor kick out, read well by Damo, and thought about maybe taking on the defence and going forward, but he took him on man for man, took the shot off the left and put it up and over the bar.
Yeah, I think that's his third score off the left, and it's an aspect of his game. All top inter-county forwards can shoot and score off both feet. Damien Comer certainly no different, and it's a brilliant one to have in your locker. And as I said, Rory Lavelle very disappointed with that with the kick out, but back I think Mikey Culhan was gone off with an injury. But yeah, it's a big it's all about having a big panel, particularly this time of year when the pitches are heavy. Legs can go maybe a little bit quicker than they will in the summer, but both teams aren't afraid to use that panel.
Damien Comer had called for that ball, not over on the sideline on the far side, but in around the square, but it was too much on it. The delivery coming in from Jamal Kilcommons. But we're back to a 1-point ball game, as we said. It's Salthill Knocknacarra 1-7, Annaghdown 9 points. About 9 minutes of normal time to go here. So Salthill Knocknacarra happy to be where they are, but feel probably that they need another couple of scores to put away this Annaghdown threat, because the longer you leave Annaghdown in a contest, we all know too well the calibre of Damien Comer and Frankie Burke up around the forward line. Anything is possible, particularly in the semi-final, as Salthill Knocknacarra now attack the Oris Borna throw end. Playing is Charlie Power, the substitute, just introduced. So ball is recycled back towards the centre, towards Evan Murphy. Man free to side the field was Owen Daly, not spotted, as Evan Murphy takes a shot from out the field, drops it in and drops it out to the left-hand side and wide. And every one of these attempts from Salthill Knocknacarra, Barry, that go wide, it just probably looks like it gives a little bit more belief and impetus to Annaghdown to go forward and pick off one themselves.
Yeah, and they'll be getting more and more belief as the game goes on that they can sneak this one. Salthill probably would have gone into the game as slight favourites, but Annaghdown, Ryan 4 goes off. That's a strange enough decision for me now. I thought he'd been doing well and causing Salthill some problems, but yeah, it just keeps Annaghdown and keeps them in it, and they, as I said, they'll be looking just to get another couple of balls in on top of Damien. He's doing really well. He's getting loads of joy out of being in that full forward line. At the moment, probably the two most nervous people in the whole stadium are Don Connellan and Val Daly. in reality, they don't want extra time in this game. They'll have prepared for a quarter to four throw in. It just throws their preparations off a bit.
Yeah, Aidan Burke gets a little push there, but play on ref as a referee, no foul. High tackle there. That's going to be a free in now between the 21 and 14 metre line down to our right. About 3 metres in from the sideline. Damien Comer is the first choice that's going to walk over towards this. Frankie Burke has it in the hand as well, but that's not the angle or the side that suits Frankie Burke. Instead, it's going to be Damien Comer, you'd imagine, off the left, Barry, here to level this up. And the clock tells us we have 7 minutes to go, so you might be bang on dead right about Don Connellan and Val Daly.
Yeah, Frankie Burke tried to use all his experience there. He brought it in 1 or 2 steps as Tommy Flaherty blew his whistle, but linesman pulled it back, and Damien took his time, and this is a big free, a very, very difficult free. If he gets it, well worth the entrance money alone, but there's no better man to have a go at it.
Absolutely. Here he goes. He's got to get enough of curl on this if he can. Has he got too much curl on it? He has got too much curl on it. He threw the boot at it. He tried to get it far enough over to come out. Salthill Knocknacarra bringing the sub as well. Matthew Thompson, number 18, is coming in and going off. It's number 11, Evan Murphy.
Number 18, Matthew Thompson replaces number 11, Evan Murphy.
1-7 for Salthill Knocknacarra, 9 points for Annaghdown. 24 minutes just about to tick over on the clock here as Rory Lavelle decides to go long. How direct and how perfect is that pass out to the middle of the field, and gives the chance for Salthill Knocknacarra to get the ball forward to Rob Finnerty, who calls the mark on the edge of the D. Being marked over there by Kieran Potter, but that's very much a training ground move, Barry, for sure. The long kick from Lavelle out to the middle of the field, pop pass forward to Rob Finnerty, and Finnerty strikes it up and puts it back to a 2-point ball game again, 1-8 to 9 points.
And Annaghdown just lost Matthew Thompson as he came on. He drifted from right in front of us here in the stand over to the far side of the pitch. No one from Annaghdown picked him up, and no better man than Rory Lavelle to spot it. And as we said earlier on about looking at him in the warm-up before, James Healy, bad one here. This could give Tom O'Culhan the opportunity to put 3 between the sides. He will do exactly that as he slides that one between the uprights. We saw Rory Lavelle guilty at the other end a few moments ago. This time it's James Healy's turn, and you just don't want to be doing that at this stage of a county semi-final. No, and when you get to this level, when you get to any level, the importance of retaining your own kickouts are so strong now, and slightest mistake, teams get them scoring chances. And in fairness to Tom O'Culhan, we said about Owen Curran having the better of the 50-50 battles, but when he's getting the opportunities, 4 points from play, 4 great scores, you have to give him huge credit as well.
Absolutely. A 3-point ball game then. 1-9 for Salthill Knocknacarra. Annaghdown 9 points. 25 and a half minutes gone in the second half. Let's see what's up next. What's in store in Pearse Stadium as Cathal Sweeney goes forward. This could be the insurance score as Cathal Sweeney kicks it way out to the right hand side and wide. It was well within his compass there to get that one up and over the bar, but it still means that Annaghdown are just 3 points behind. I'm not sure if they can get 3 points quickly to level it up, but there's always the danger in around the square when Frankie Burke and the likes are in there. That kick out by James Healy has gone astray once again out over the sideline. This could be very difficult for Annaghdown to come back from now if Rob Finnerty can get a score here. He has support coming from John Maher, but the hand goes in there. That's brilliant work by the Annaghdown man. Flicked along the ground by Maher towards the goal. Going back to get to it is Enda Malarkey. John Maher now has picked up an injury. And straight away, Tommy Flaherty was in there to blow up for attention and medical assistance for the midfielder. Stretched really big there to get that ball away along the ground, Barry.
Oh, yeah, did really, really well. I think, I'm not sure, was it Mikey Knockton? It was a good battle, but John Maher did well. I must say, John Maher's had I know I mentioned him in the first half, but he's had a brilliant, brilliant game. Not done anything hugely spectacular, but his possessions are high, his work rate is high, and everything he's doing around the pitch is for the benefit of the team. And he's probably been the best midfielder on show, I would say, today. And as I said, has been a big reason why Salthill and Knocknacarra find themselves 3 points up. And what a game is, that is tight, it is very, very tense, and it is physical. And when you have the physique that John Maher has, these sort of conditions suit you down to the ground.
I urge people not to,
so
the teams will be coming on the pitch fairly immediately after the end of the first game, so please don't encroach on the pitch.
PA announcement requesting for people not to go onto the pitch at the end of this first semi-final. Of course, we have The second semi-final coming up at 3:45 here. We'll have live commentary from Jonathan Higgins and Barry Cunlan for that game. The meeting of reigning county champions Mount Balliol Moyla and Mike Cullen. Hotly anticipated second semi-final here as the crowd continues to pour into Pearse Stadium. John Maher looks like he's going to be shepherded off here. He's going to put on the gloves again. Annaghdown are going to bring in number 13, Conor Maloney, in place of Sean Ford as well. So the changes are happening all over the place. David Connaughton wants to come on for Salthill.
Conor Maloney replaces number 5, Sean Ford.
Damien Comer and Frankie Burke now on the edge of the Salthill Knocknacarra square down to our right hand side. The clock says we've 2 minutes left of normal playing time. We'll get the notification from the sideline in a moment as David Connaughton does come on. John Maher being called off. He's reluctant to go off. That's the type of player he is. He just wants to give it all to stay on.
Team, number 17, Reese Burke replaces number 8. Sorry, number 17.
Barry, just looking at the amount of stoppages we've had in this second half as well, it's likely that we could go the 5 minutes I've added on time as well.
It looks every bit of it, Tommy, and it still gives Annaghdown that outside chance. But I think at this stage they probably need a goal, but they need to, whatever about anything, they need to try and create a couple of scoring chances. You know, the break and plays has helped Annaghdown, but they've now got a chance over the top.
Over the top here, in towards Damien Comer. Ball in there. Comer goes up for it. This is a chance. He's pulled to the ground. That's surely a penalty if a ball doesn't go in the net. The referee hasn't given anything yet. Has he? As a ball is pulled on. Damien Comer is absolutely furious there that he didn't get a penalty. That could be a huge point in this game. Also going in there at the end was Darragh Meehan. Surely from even this distance away, it looked like that there might have been a foul, but the referee was up there, in fairness to him. And that chance goes a bag in the ball, as Barry had said. There's only going to be 3 minutes added on as well, and we're 3.5 minutes to go. But Rob Finnerty has a chance to wrap it up here for Salthill Knocknacarra. Steps back inside for the second time and kicks it up and over the bar. And a goal chance at one in. Damien Comer still remonstrating with the referee, and I don't think that will go away for a while. If Damien Comer feels he was entitled to a penalty back there, I'm sure he had a valid point, Barry.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. He did really well to come and contest it. Possibly could have taken the mark, maybe, I'm not sure. You know, Tommy Flaherty did have a good view of it. Was Damien playing for it? Maybe. Who knows? The video will tell us better. But, you know, it wasn't given. Be frustration for Annaghdown. And to kind of add to that then, Salthill Knocknacarra go down the pitch and they get probably what will be the insurance point by Rob Finnerty.
A golden opportunity you felt there for a penalty. And by all accounts, it was a penalty. As Damien Comer goes in there, this could be on the line. There's a ball picked up there by Rory Lavelle and gets it out. It's the third or fourth attempt at a goal for Annaghdown that just won't go in. They trail by 4 here. We're in the additional time. We have 2.5 minutes of that to go. Salthill Knocknacarra might just have rode their luck a little bit in the last couple of moments there. But Damien Comer still will not let this one go away. Such a threat on the edge of the square. Every ball that was delivered in there in the last few minutes. Norman Costello and John O'Mahony telling the sideline here, the players to calm down. They're minutes away from a place in the coveted county final for 2023. We'll find out who will be the other team later on between. And the word that I can see, Barry, coming in here, that it could easily have been 2 penalties and probably should have been 2 penalties for Annaghdown. So they'll still keep going, but they will be very disappointed at the end if they're to lose out here. That shot goes out to the left-hand side and wide. This game, to me, now looks like it's going to peter out with 1.5 minutes to go. But the talking point after this will be those 2 chances, or those 2 penalty claims by Annaghdown. And I'm sure Tommy Flaherty will have it in his ear on the way off. I know we're in the era of respect for referees, but you know, if they felt they had a penalty claim, it wasn't probably double checked with the umpires or whatever, unless they're mic'd up, which they probably are, and they were happy enough that it wasn't a penalty. But that's another super kick out from Rory Lavelle. Pinpoint accuracy to find William Finnerty on the sideline on the far side of the field. Tom O'Culhan now with just over 1 minute to go. Salthill Knocknacarra find loads of space up in the forward line now. Chance here for Charlie Power, the substitute. He has plenty of room over here and plenty of players to go to, but the shot will come in over on the far side by the midfielder, by the man that's come on, number 9 for Salthill Knocknacarra. Johnny Hunt gets his second point, and that, Barry, pretty much is that. As Johnny Hunt gets that, Salthill Knocknacarra have got the last 4 points in the last 5 or 6 minutes. This one in the second minute of added on time, and Johnny Hunt gets his second point, 111 to 9. And very much game over now.
Yeah, Donny Hunt, as I said earlier on, after he got his first score, he's made a big difference. 2 good scores, but overall just his work rate around the middle of the pitch, he's made a big difference to Salthill Knocknacarra. He'll be hoping that, it looks like Salthill will make the final now, and he'll be hoping to have staked a place for next weekend. But you know, the penalties is going to be, there's going to be loads of replays, loads of looking at it, and it was a big call by Tommy Flaherty. Those usually go the way of the forward, and particularly when you have Damien Comer there, and we know that backs find it difficult to stop him. They usually foul him when they're in that position. So Annaghdown will be very disappointed, and I'm sure, as you said, they will be letting Tommy Flaherty know. But again, he probably had the best view of the whole lot of us, and he'll make he made his call on it, and I'm sure he'll stick with it.
Absolutely, but it was delicately poised at 199 points with 4 minutes to go, and that penalty would have levelled it up here in Pearse Stadium as a Salthill Knocknacarra player goes to ground. But it's the home side that are finishing strong here in Pearse Stadium. They're going to book their place in this year's county final. Rob Finnerty decides, I'll have a fisted effort, I'll pop it up and over the bar for his 5th point. The captain leading by example, 112 to 9 points. Not sure if it's a true reflection on the game the way it's finished up here, and we're in the 64th minute. But Salthill Knocknacarra's Rob Finnerty, their captain, he will lead their side out in the county final next weekend. 112 to 9 points. As the referee Tommy Faraday blows the full-time whistle, Damien Comer exchanges handshakes with his Salthill Knocknacarra opponents down to our right-hand side. They may talk about them penalty opportunities, but I think in the end both sides are really absolutely giving their all out there. John O'Mahony shakes hands with the respective management team of Damien Dowd out there as well. So Tommy Faraday making his way off and not being approached by anyone just yet, but Damien Comer, I think, is disappointed, but I suppose it's a sign of the man he is too. He's just gone up shaking hands with the victors, Salthill Knocknacarra, and is happy enough that it wasn't to be there. They got back into this. There's the referees having a word there from a couple of Annaghdown players, but nothing untoward going on, just asking the questions that was why that was not given, that penalty. Damien Comer, Jim Kilcommons in there. It wasn't to be Annaghdown's day in the end. They've lost by 6, Barry, 112 to 9 in the end.
Yeah, and it goes to show you, it takes, maybe with 5 minutes to go, it wasn't going to look like it was Salthill by 6. Certainly it didn't look like there was going to be that margin in it. But again, it goes to show you got to stay playing for the full 30 and 33 minutes, 34 minutes, 58 seconds to be exact. And Salthill finished the game stronger. They took their scores, and Annaghdown maybe panicked a little bit towards the end. Had some snapshots, and of course those 2 penalty decisions that will be talked about. But overall, the one thing I take from it is like when all around maybe we're losing their head, and John O'Mahony was the picture of calmness on the line at all stages, and I'd say he got his messaging spot on at half time. It looked like he did anyway. Salthill came out rejuvenated, better structured, better organised. That's why he came to Salthill. That's why Salthill brought him down. He's certainly done everything that he possibly can so far. He's got them to a county final. Who's to say they won't take that next step as well?
Well, the celebrations will go on. Well, they can't really go on for too long, Barry.
No.
We're going to play in the county final next weekend. That is the plan by the Galway Football Board, is to play the county final next weekend. Mike Cullen are already out on Mike Quillen for the warm-up before the second game, but it's Salthill Knocknacarra, the first team into the 2023 Galway Senior Football Championship final. They've defeated Annaghdown in the end after coming from behind at half-time, trailing by 6 points to 4. A goal early in the second half, deflected effort from Carl Sweeney off the hands of Jonathan Craven, the Annaghdown cornerback. But a strong finish where Salthill Knocknacarra finished strong in the end. Late points by Tom O'Culhan, Donny Hunt and Rob Finnerty. Copperfast in the victory for John O'Mahony's sides, who lead or finish up here 6-point victors in the end on a final scoreline of Salthill Knocknacarra 1 goal and 12 points, Annaghdown 9 points. My sincere thanks to Barry Cullen and co-commentary for the first of our semi-finals. Barry will stay with us and will be joined on commentary by Jonathan Higgins for the throw-in on the second game here between Mike Cullen and Montpellier Myla, throw-in at 3:45. But for now, from me, Tommy Devan from Pearse Stadium, we bid you adieu.